Hello everyone, Ankford here. I just got finished watching Jessica Jones, A.K.A. Jessica Jones on Netflix. This first season was uploaded this morning, and I just got done watching it all in one day. With pauses. I'm not a maniac, but you know. So Jessica Jones. It's based on a comic book called Alias, and while I've not read that particular comic book, and I'm sorry, but this cat is making me crazy. I have to bring in here for a second, because he's running around in circles otherwise. Setting up this, while the setting he's been running around. Oh my god, I'm in a different room than normally. What's going on? I'm normally in the living room. Oh no, I want to do shit. Ugh. You go up there if you want to. You're here for Jessica Jones. Thumbs up for Kitty Cat. I don't know. So Jessica Jones. It's about this failed superhero turned private investigator named Jessica, and she is when the series starts, she's suffering from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. So you can already tell that this is not going to be your normal superhero fare. This is not going to be your normal comic book fare either. Even though it's set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this is the second of the Marvel Cinematic Netflix series that's going to be made. The first one was, of course, Daredevil, that came out in April and was a mega hit. So it went on with, which was dark, which is my kind of what I'm leading up to. Jessica Jones, and I'm sorry about all the motion blur on my hands. Jessica Jones is a lot more bleak, downright bleak than Daredevil was. Like Daredevil was bleak also for dark, also for a different reason. Like Daredevil would get very, very violent. Especially around the end there would have a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of people who've seen the series will know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the car door scene in Daredevil. We do not really have a car door scene in Jessica Jones. What we do have is a lot of references to rape and losing your self-control and being kidnapped and being taken over by other people, and a lot of these themes about as if someone is controlling your mind, how much are you accountable for doing? If someone took control of your mind and made you do terrible, terrible things, how much of that is you? Like, how much of that is your former capability to already be that person? Like, did you already have that potential in you? Did you have the potential to kill another person? Did you have the potential to take drugs? Do you have the potential to do all sorts of shitty things prior to being mind controlled? How much mind control is actually in question here? If you're not a big Marvel fan, I wouldn't stay away from Jessica Jones. This is a very, very approachable series, like, compared to a lot of the other Marvel stuff, especially lately. Like, if you're kind of put off by the new Marvel movies being very self-referential, fear not, because they very quickly get out of the way. This is the Marvel Universe, okay? This is the Marvel Universe, or all that shit that happened in the movies. This is this universe. Like, references, like, remember what happened in New York? Of course, this takes place in New York, so remember the thing that happened 3 years ago with all the things and the big green guy jumping through buildings and shit like that. They're very quickly, okay, this is the Marvel Universe, stop asking. And Kristen Ritter plays Jessica Jones in this, and I have to say she does a very, very good job. I'm normally not big on this actress. She's very, I don't know why, but her performances in other stuff just never stood out to me. And I'm sorry if that's a detriment to her work, but that's just how I feel. I was aware of her existence, I was aware of her work, but I don't remember ever going like, Yeah, Kristen Ritter, that name. I actually had to look up her name. But she does a very, very great performance of Jessica Jones, and showing like how bleak her world is, and the people around her, and like she makes it very like clear that Jessica Jones is not a character with a lot of joy in her life. Jessica Jones has seen some shit and been through some shit. She is a superhero gone wrong. She is an attempted superhero who very early on in her career was taken over by mind controller and basically kept like prisoner for like 5 or 6 months. It's never said exactly how long, but long enough that people would be like, "Who are you?" Not who are you, but where the fuck are you? Who are you with? What are you doing? Are you alive? Very much like, this is not good. This is not good by any stretch of the imagination. For whatever reason, she manages to get away from this psychopath, played by David Tennant, who you may know as Barty Crouch Jr. and no other well-known acting gigs since then. Nope. Nobody knows who David Tennant is, especially not in television. No, but seriously, David Tennant does a really good job of playing Jebediah Kilgrave. I will say that the writing for the character does a lot of the job for him. If you're familiar with David Tennant, like, you will be able to tell that this is David Tennant playing a character. This is not some magical new personality he's just bringing out of nowhere. Over the course of the series, you will find out that Kilgrave is a very dark character, also a character with a lot of, like, a very dark past. But this is personally somewhere where he could have been tortured every day for his entire life, and I would still not like feel any compassion for Kilgrave as a character. Another very like continuing present in this series is Luke Cage, who like is not just referenced. Like, Luke Cage has his series coming up, and the two characters of Luke and Jessica are well known to be in a relationship. Currently in the comics, they're in a relationship. They're one of the big like Marvel Comics power couples, right after people like Tony Stark and Pepper Potts. So Luke Cage like is present and does shit throughout this entire series, like to the point where I would question what the Luke Cage series is gonna be, because it seems very much like it's just gonna be Jessica Jones season 2. It really feels like he's so much in this that this show could have been called Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, and nobody would have complained about it. One of the like big surprises is there's also a surprise extra villain in this series. I will say that this is a one mystery show, like just like Daredevil only had Kingpin as the main villain throughout the entire first season. Kilgrave is like this constant presence during everything, and but there does show up a surprise villain, not a very well-known villain, so I'm not gonna say his name, because those who know about him is gonna know his name, his civilian name. So just be aware. There's an interesting character coming up, and it's not someone I saw coming, honestly. Even though I know he's one of the darker Marvel Comics characters. If you have seen the series and you want to know who it is, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll put a spoiler tag in the comment section or something where you can ask me if you want to. But yeah, it was honestly very, very dark. As I said, not dark in the same way Daredevil was, like more dark in a everything is shit, everything is bad. People who complain that DC Comics is the adult cinematic universe right now, watch this show. Watch this show and watch Daredevil. If you thought Daredevil was too lighthearted, watch this show. You will be like, this is everything I wanted in a dark superhero series because it doesn't take the silly stuff and try to dark it up. It's not the Dark Knight. It's not like it's super bleak and super realistic, but there's still a guy in a big black bat suit running around, or a guy with green hair going, "Oh, why so serious?" Because you were written that way, Heath Ledger. You were written serious. And you're very hard to take seriously because you're supposed to be a clown, and clowns are funny. Anyway, that's my complaints about The Dark Knight. Jessica Jones actually fits a dark superhero story. Like you should do what Marvel has done so far, and that's every movie series and every the TV series has its own feel. Like Jessica Jones is a detective noir. And Guardians of the Galaxy is a space opera, and like make Superman a bright, optimistic movie. Not what we got. Does also have slow moments. There is actually an entire episode where I was like, skip past this part because there's an entire okay, I'll admit, there is a subplot I didn't really care for, but the subplot is concerning such a minor character that it's not referenced. It's just going on there in the background. This is going on with this person. This person is vaguely related to the main character, and sometimes shows up and talks to her directly. But besides that subplot is just in the background. In any case, that is my off-the-cuff thoughts on Jessica Jones, A.K.A. Jessica Jones, the new series on Netflix. I've enjoyed it. I don't think I'll be doing a lot of these, but I wanted to like share my thoughts because I'm very excited about the series, and I have been looking very much forward. And this is basically me saying it's good. It's really good, and you should go watch it. Bye.